the Tailpipes and Tacos monthly cruise-in at the fabulous Lupe Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, Texas. This is the award-winning car talk show in real time. Just ahead, we talk with some of today's cruisers and hoodlums and find out about what they brung. We'll also review our featured vehicle of the week, the completely redesigned 2021 Toyota Sienna. We got your weekly cruise-in calendar. Conrad has This Week in Auto History, and we'll have the stories making auto news headlines. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin.
Yep.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Oh, by the way, he's back.
He's back.
From the Upper Peninsula of the great state of Michigan with the finest governor in the entire planet.
Whoa.
Up there. Mr. David Ainsley is making a guest appearance.
David. We love you, David.
Is Governor Nitwit or Witless?
One of those.
David, we missed you.
Yeah. Did you miss me? I went to Mobile last week.
You did.
Yeah. Mr. Heitzman, thank you very much for filling in for me. We really appreciate it.
He did a wonderful job.
Outstanding.
Despite your shenanigans that I kept getting on my cell phone, that you've left the studio and you're never going to speak to me again.
I told him not to do it.
And you were dancing for joy.
And I just kept ignoring it. He's got to be kidding me. Mars would have called me.
He was hoping he was kidding.
Mars would have called me and said, "Well, Conrad's left. Apparently he's pretty tough."
Left the building.
They were going to send you that. I couldn't call you because I was over in the corner in a fetal position crying.
You're laughing. Yeah, I'll bet. Well, at any rate, hey, it's a beautiful morning, and if you're just tuning in and wondering whether or not you're going to make it out to the Lupe Tortilla Mexican restaurant out here in Katy for the In Wheel Time show and this wonderful Tailpipes and Tacos gathering, well, today's the day. The 20% chance of rain is not until this afternoon.
That's right.
So it's beautiful, clear skies. It's a little bit humid, but bring your wipe-down towel. Come on out and enjoy the fun.
We got some kind of Siberian thing, fog or Sahara, whatever.
Well, that's
called dirt. Sahara dust.
That's it. Well, don't worry about that. Just come on out and have a good time. So we start off our show a little bit. We do try to do it a little bit differently every week.
It's because we don't know what we're doing, and it's not repeatable.
No, it's not repeatable. But at any rate, we always try to have. Is he actually blowing the parking lot?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's going to go away.
Yeah.
At any rate, so we start off with a guest, as we always do on this show. But today is a very special guest. He actually didn't even bring a car out here. No, he didn't.
How did he get here?
He bummed a ride from another mutual friend of ours.
Bus. He used the bus.
And this is a guy that was instrumental in my, racing career and everything automotive, because he helped get me that job that I've touted on this show at Richardson Chevrolet.
So he's the one to blame?
He is the one to blame. Now, don't kill him yet. Wait till he speaks, because we need a guest. His name is Ross Putnam, and he's sitting down here at the end of the table. He and I went to high school together.
Oh, this is the owner of the Dolphin.
No, that's Puss Wilson.
Okay.
Oh.
That's another friend. I don't even think Ross knows.
You have two friends?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I had two.
He's bragging now.
Yeah. So, anyway, Ross, I really appreciate you coming out.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, so I have told stories, and actually, I had dinner with Ross, I guess a week and a half ago, and we reminisced, and we both figured out. Took two of us to figure out who our boss was at Richardson Chevrolet. And as it turns out, his name was Virgil Ellis. And he headed up the new car make-ready department. And we were just reminiscing about our times in the new car make-ready department at Richardson Chevrolet.
Is he still around?
After – no. We worked after school and on Saturdays.
And what years was that?
That would have been 1969 and 1970.
Great year to be working at a Chevy dealership.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sure was.
Couldn't have been better.
And I'll tell you what, the tire department there at Richardson Chevrolet had a little work for them with the Corvettes that they had there.
You guys smoked the tires on?
We drove some really nice cars.
Well, those were the days of the polyglass and the Firestone.
You could actually hear them squeal.
The 15-inchers, yeah.
Well, no, not when they're on fire in the back parking lot.
Well, yeah.
Because we managed to do that quite well. Matter of fact, I think that we were both reminiscing about the 454 with the 4-speed. That it was like, who can get that car this Saturday morning and pull it out and take it around back and put it in the Corvette
Just to
corral.
make sure
It's
that
a
the
race
battery,
to see who gets to work first.
just to make sure the battery's charged. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the fluids are
and
working.
I think I shared with everybody once before the battery thing that we always had to deal with. And the I guess it was a 68 or 69 white Biscayne that laid on the lot for a year. And it never failed at least once or twice a month. We'd have to go out there and move the car as they straightened up the lot.
Sure.
And every time the battery was dead.
Well, batteries were a little different back then than they are today.
And there just happened to be an errant nut that fell down into the carburetor.
No.
And
I
that's
heard
how they
that story.
disposed of the car.
Loose nut
well-
behind the wheel.
I was
Well,
gonna say,
as it
opposed to a
turned
nut
out,
loose behind.
we had forgotten that the thing dropped down into the carburetor.
Oh gosh.
And one day, should I just let you tell the story?
No, go ahead, Donnie. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Your Prevagen's working.
Apparently today it is. And so the dealership was doing what they call a dealer trade.
Oh yeah.
So they sent a driver from the dealership somewhere, I don't know, Texas City or somewhere, as far away.
Trade one car for another because they have a car that somebody wants to buy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, dealer transfer.
right, and then
Yeah.
they have a car they want to unload.
Yeah, so the Richardson brothers managed to unload
The Biscayne
the Biscayne. And
made a little noise.
no, not he left the lot, and we're thinking, oh dear God, is he going to make it home? Nope, didn't make it home. I think he made it, a mile away or something like that. They had to send the wrecker to get it and bring it back.
It came back the same day.
Yeah, needless to say.
So the wing nut got.
It was. I don't know if it was a wing nut, because that would have been a little bit too big to make it down into the cylinder head. But it managed to get, I guess, hung up in a valve or something, and it was not a good thing.
It only makes noise for a few seconds
Yeah, until it quit.
until it pukes the motor. Yeah.
But we had great times together, and this was the guy that was a witness, and he had a few of them himself, where especially the white cars and the big cars that had that ridge right down the middle of it, we get that polisher out there, that high-speed polisher, and we would manage to run right through that paint all the way down to the primer and off to the paint shop it went.
Polishing
unfortunately-
pinstripes in it.
We burned a couple.
Yeah, to say the least. Yeah. And, I look back on those days fondly.
Well, the paint was pretty poor back in those days anyway.
Well,
so-
it was, and so it deserved a new paint job on the hood anyway.
So did you touch it up, or did you send it back to paint?
Oh, no,
or-
it had to go to paint.
yeah.
You couldn't touch that up.
See, they should have just put wide stripes on it, little vinyl stripes right over the top of it.
And I don't know how, but Ross and I managed to get wrecker duty. And they had two wreckers. One was this ginormous 1 ton that we never used.
Every once in a while we did.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll take a taco. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Whatever you need. Yeah. Just bring them on. We'll take anything you got. God bless you.
Thank you.
Come on out to Lupe Tortillas. It's Taco Saturday.
There you
That's
go.
it.
We're not
Tailpipes and
Taco
tacos.
Tuesday.
Tailpipes and tacos.
So I was sharing with Ross the incident where there was a car that came into the shop, and they repaired the car, allegedly, and the lady got it home over off of Memorial Drive. I'll never forget that. And apparently something puked on it, and it didn't run anymore. So Ross and I, took the
Went to
wrecker.
wrecker to go get it.
It wasn't, and this was a dealership wrecker. It wasn't a nice wrecker that they would send at a wreck. This is something that was a wreck itself. It had to have been at least 10, 15 years old.
With two kids who knew absolutely nothing about what
Absolutely
they were doing
nothing.
about
We
how to
learned
tie
quick.
a car up.
Yeah, we learned quick. So do you want to finish the story?
Go ahead, Donnie.
No, you.
That's part of the interview.
Yeah.
Well, we tied her up. We picked her up with the chains, started heading down the road, and Donnie looked back and said, "You better shut her down. The car we were towing was about to come right up to us." we forgot to tie off the steering wheel.
Oh, my gosh.
And it went all the way to whatever the lock side was, the left or the right or whatever. And there was the car taking up 3 lanes and people coming at us, pulling off to the side, trying to get out of the way of the car that we were towing.
It was almost 45 degrees.
Oh, my gosh.
It was.
It didn't hurt anything, though.
No.
No,
You got stopped in time,
Yeah.
restrapped the car up.
Just the
and
pride. They
off
heard their
you go.
pride.
Oh, we
no.
didn't care.
They didn't have
There was
pride.
no pride.
They were teenagers.
That's right, and we had a good time. But that's one of the many stories. There was another one where, for whatever reason, and I still don't quite understand it, but the dealership managed to accept people that wanted to change tires or wheels on cars.
Oh, yeah.
It was. I mean, that was pretty common back then.
They do it
then.
today.
Do they still
Oh,
do?
yeah.
So at any rate, I don't know where he was. He wasn't anywhere to be found. Ooh, look at there. Thank you. Yeah, we definitely. Oh, there you go.
There it
Thank
is.
you so much. Yes, we're getting our tacos delivered to us.
Wow.
And we got the hot sauce.
The finest tacos in town.
There you go.
That's it. They're excellent. Thank you. There you go. Thank you so much.
Have you guys had this venue as a location before, or is it first time here?
Oh no, we've been here since really the beginning of Tailpipes and Tacos.
Oh, yeah. We were here at the start.
I guess that's been at least a year, right? That's good. Thank you. At any rate,
Well, I'd never heard about it until you mentioned it to me the other evening.
Oh, it's.
You know, I hear about cars and coffee and things
Thank you
like
very
that,
much.
but I never heard about this. Go ahead.
Yeah, it started in 18.
no, last year. It started last year. Last year was 20, I believe.
Yeah, but it started before that because we had Shirley Muldowney was here in 19. She
Okay.
wasn't here last year.
All right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So whatever. We come out here once a month. And
Third Saturday.
Get
Yeah.
a chance to see some of Houston's finest cars, and it's generally a pretty good
Turnout.
range
Mix.
of cars. Different people show up each time. You see different cars.
new cars, old cars. There's a what is it? A 64 Mercury Marauder back over there with a 427 in it.
Side
in the corner.
oiler, right there. That
Yeah.
white
Oh,
one.
the
right
white
there.
one,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yes. So
We
I don't-
actually share this location also. We do a remote from the other Lupe.
we have done down at the. So there's two Tailpipes and Tacos going on. This one, and the one inside the loop, off of Kirby and 59.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't remember the story that I was trying to tell when I got interrupted with tacos.
Well, there's many.
There are many. But whatever the case may be, I don't want to hog the airwaves.
So-
See a nice yellow and white 55 out there.
That's
yes,
Biff's.
that's Biff's car. He's
He's
around.
a friend of the show. We
Yeah.
talk to him quite often.
Got a nice motor in it. By the way, speaking of which, I wanted to let you describe your 55, the red with the black front end on it. And that we had some good times in that car.
Yes, we did.
Until you bent every push rod in it. I don't know why or how, but I'll let you explain that.
Good story.
Yeah, I bought the vehicle from a friend of Bruce who was out there in the audience somewhere. Paid $300 for it.
Did it have a motor in it?
It had a 283 that was punched out to 292 and a cross ram intake on it with
Oh, wow.
two AFBs. But when we finally got it running, it was a little bit too much.
It's a lot of
A
carburetor.
lot of carb, yeah, for a little cubic inch motor like that. Started off with a 3-speed tranny. First night I got it running, blew the tranny in the clutch in it. So we changed that out and put a 4-speed Borg Warner T10 out of a 62 Vet and drove it to high school for about a year and a half. Turned into a project with a friend of ours named Bob McCormick. You remember Bob?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jake.
Jake, yes.
We put a motor in it that he built, and it didn't work out very well. Had some water leaks. So in the meantime, I'd sold my motor to a guy named Ski Bonkoski that worked up at Richardson Chevrolet, and he put it into a dirt car that ran at Navasota for about 2 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you remember Ski, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this 55, it only had 2 bucket seats in the front. And I don't know why it had a flat black front end on it. The rest of the car was red.
Just never got around to painting it.
Is that what it was?
Shaker paint.
Did you buy it that way?
Bought it that way, yeah.
I see.
And I thought it looked pretty cool. So
It did.
You know, it looked like it had a glass front end on it, so I just left it like
Yeah,
that.
I know. It looked really good. And it ran really good, too. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, my dad was the first one to get a ticket in it, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah. Excessive noise
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
going down Braeswood by Hillcroft.
Right? Because it didn't have any mufflers on it, did it?
It had some truck mufflers on it.
It did?
Headers into some truck mufflers.
Well, it sounded
Not much of a muffler, it sounds like.
No, it really
Sounded
wasn't.
pretty good.
It sounded real good, as a matter of fact. And
I would say, boy, don't you wish you still had that cross-ram intake manifold? That'd be quite collectible today.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was looking on eBay, about 6 months ago, and with a good set of Holly carburetors on it, they're getting about $1,500 for them.
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah.
And that, at the day, it was like a $200 intake.
what was the name of the guy that owned the speed shop where we bought everything? He was over in Bel Air, and then he moved it up to 59 in Chimney Rock. And I cannot remember the name of the speed shop or his name.
Well, it was race car parts.
Race car parts, that's it. Yep.
It was the second. Nolan had the first shop over there in Spring Branch, and the second one opened up in Bel Air, and I can't remember his name right now.
Well, I mean, you couldn't remember Virgil Ellis's name either.
Yeah.
I came up with the first name, and then you finished it off.
That's all it took was Virgil, and I knew right then and there who it was.
Yeah, that was the
His nickname was Pee Wee. Remember?
Pee Wee. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't remember his
that's
first name.
That's a fun nickname.
Yeah.
Pee Wee, and it wasn't a small guy or anything like that.
That's probably why you called him that.
I don't know. I don't
You
recall.
call a tall guy
but,
shorty
But we
and-
spent more money with that guy. We spent all of our money with this guy. And he'd order in parts and, it'd take a couple of days to get it. And we'd go over there and get it, install it, do whatever we needed to do. But it was good stuff. We had a good time together. And matter of fact, it was the guy that had the Nova, Butch. Wasn't his name Butch? No. What was the guy's name that had the Nova with the 3-speed on the column? That he always poured STP in the thing, and we took the valve covers off of it one day.
That's probably keeping it from making a lifter noise.
and the buildup inside that valve cover was about an inch thick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember him, Donnie.
He lived on Braeswood, and I want to say it was either Hillcroft or Chimney Rock at Braeswood. And he had a riding lawnmower that we managed to somehow or another pop wheelies with. But anyway, there's a 55-ish.
Yeah, well, look at that, though.
I think it's a 58.
It's got a gasser front end. It's
Yep.
got a solid front axle underneath that.
But they had solid front axles then.
Yeah, but not
like
8
that.
inches
Like
up
that,
in the
yeah.
air.
Well, I know that's a very
looks
nice
looks like a gasser out of the
Looks like
60s.
a-
Yeah, it
How
does.
cool is that?
It is.
Yeah.
And flame front end.
Yep.
So whatever became of the 55 after you seized the motor or bent every push rod in it, whatever the hell that happened?
Well, unfortunately, I just pieced it out.
You did?
Yeah. Sold the heads to someone, and intake and carb to someone else, and the Mallory distributor to someone. Just what you did in the day to get your money back. But I did okay.
Sometimes they were worth more as parts than they were as a whole car.
That car was definitely.
As you break it down and get $100 for this and $100 for
Yeah,
that.
I only paid $300 for the car. And really the intake alone was worth that.
Oh yeah, every bit of it.
Who are you gesturing? Oh,
Mars.
Oh, I see.
He was just sitting down to eat his taco.
Well, we're all kind of into that sort of thing, but he can't.
So, what other stuff did you guys tear up at Richardson?
Well, mainly the Corvettes.
We
Look
had-
at he's got that smirk on his face, like
I'm
what?
sure you had a Camaro or a Nova. That,
On Saturday mornings, part of our job was to get the wreckers out and clean up the lot. And there were moving all the wrecked cars. And sometimes we had add a ding or two to them.
Mistakenly, I mean,
Oh
not
yeah,
on purpose.
it was surely by accident.
because the rear tires didn't have any traction. You swung around into somebody else.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that.
It was all in fun, and, you know.
I was telling you about the tire swapping. So I don't know where Ross was. He was doing something else, and I was charged with swapping tires on a truck, like a 3/4 ton truck, out in the truck lot. They sold trucks separately back then on the side. And I went out there, and I took the lug nuts off and forgot where I was because I had to be called away to do something else. Got out there, and I forgot that I'd taken the lug nuts off. And let me tell you something.
Oh, no. And started driving it? You left the lug nuts off? It's a little hard to jack up in the air after the tires fall off of it, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, fortunately I could feel that something was awry. And I wound up actually catching it before it actually hit the ground. But those wheels were hanging on by a gnat's rear end. They were all cattywampus and hanging out of the fenders.
Well, you know, what was it Darrell Waltrip was known for singing? It's a fine time to
Leave me loose wheel. Loose wheel. There you go. So, at any rate, good times.
So who paid for all this stuff you guys destroyed at Richardson Chevrolet?
The dealership. But they were making so much. I can't tell. How many cars did they sell on a Friday night? Because we would
just
come
Friday
in.
night alone, maybe 20 cars, and they'd be all piled up and make ready the next morning.
Yeah. And we had to go through. Yeah, and we worked until noon officially.
Oh, yeah. Back in those days, they were probably selling 1,000 a year, 2,000 or 3,000 a year, excuse me, at Richardson.
Oh, absolutely.
They were a powerhouse.
They were a powerhouse.
They were a powerhouse. So they were selling, you know, 300-400 a month.
Absolutely. Easily.
Sold more Corvettes and hypo cars probably than anybody in town.
In town.
Yeah.
Because they had them. They ordered them.
Well, and there wasn't that much competition as far as Chevy dealerships. Now, you know, you look at Chevy dealerships and they're out in Katy, they're down in Sugar Land, you know, they're out in Baytown. None of those probably existed back then.
No, I think there was only like 3 dealerships in town at the time. McRoberts and Knapp and Richardson.
Yep, and Knapp being downtown, they're still there today. Still owned by the Knapp family.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was where Donnie's Corvair that he had recently came from.
That's right.
Was
It had the Knapp sticker on the back of it, the emblem thing that said the dealership on it, Knapp Houston, and I kept that on that car, actually until I sold it. It's still on there.
Richardson at one time was downtown.
Yes, they were originally.
Originally, yeah.
Correct.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Then they moved out in the suburbs, I guess, like, I'll say 65. Before I was here, you probably know better than I do.
Which is out on 59.
Well, but back then, that was the edge of town.
That was.
59 and Hillcroft.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the suburbs.
Right. Yeah. Ross lived closer to the bayou, Braze Bayou. He lived up there near the intersection of Brazewood and Hillcroft.
Okay.
And I lived down at the other end, the poor end.
The poor end. Well, you just moved
Not
out of that
really.
house not that long ago, didn't you? Is that the same house?
Yeah,
About five or 6 years
but that
ago?
neighborhood, it's not good. That neighborhood is rough. But at any rate, so you know, I noticed that your partner here that you brought you today, that he's wandered off, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him.
He's down there looking at,
Cars.
looks like a Pontiac from here. It was GTO maybe. I see the front end on it.
Yeah, that teal-colored GTO.
Yep.
It's a convertible as well.
Yep.
Next to that blue Nova.
Yep.
It's I saw it drive in. Gorgeous car. I think it's a 67, but I'm not wise enough to know the difference between 67 and 66.
No, he's an Oldsmobile guy.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, because he worked for Oldsmobile. He also worked at the Corvette factory for a while.
Well, as a field engineer with General Motors, I was assigned to Bowling Green. So
how cool.
I'd get to go to Bowling Green on and off from time to time and do some stuff at the plant. Got a chance to go on a couple of pilot drives. So as the C5 Z06 was before it was released, we went up there and did a pilot drive on it. We did a pilot drive on the Cadillac XLR, which came out of Bowling Green. And actually, when it came out, it was a C6. The chassis was a C6, but it came out before the C6 Corvette came out.
Uh-huh.
So, but all Cadillac powertrain and stuff. So yeah, I love it. It was a great time. Got to see a lot of stuff working there. Got a chance to get connected with the museum a little bit.
Oh, how was that?
Very, very cool.
I
Very,
bet.
very cool. And watch them kind of develop and launch the whole museum delivery piece there, including the RPO code that goes on the car and goes in the record of the car, that there's an RPO regular production option for museum delivery, and that is quite cherished by a lot of Corvette owners. That, hey, I took delivery of mine at the museum.
Corvetophiles.
Corvetophiles, is that what they call them?
No. But it
Did they
sounded
get
good.
to watch you go down the assembly line, or were they just there for delivery?
They were usually just there for delivery. There were some parts of it you can go down the assembly line. It all changed after 2001.
Uh-huh.
The whole access to the assembly plant and everything really changed after 9/11. That they shut everybody down, and they now have plant tours again, but it's not nearly as wide open as it used to be. They used to do plant tours at Arlington, at the truck plant where they build Suburbans and Yukons and Escalades and stuff. And there was a little door in the southeast corner of the complex over by where the paint operation is. And you just go knock on the door, walk in, and go get a plant tour. You didn't even have to have an appointment or anything.
Huh.
And that all stopped. So.
Yeah, I mean, even the press couldn't get into Arlington.
No,
And the only ways that we would be able to get into Bowling Green now for the Corvettes is to call our contact up there, and she would make special arrangement for us. That was before COVID, though.
Right. Yeah, well, that's everything changed after 9/11.
Yeah.
The access to all of that, they really shut
Yeah,
all
and then
of it down.
COVID came in on top of that, and they changed it and just haven't got out of all that yet.
Speaking of Oldsmobile, here comes
No,
a
I think that's a Ford.
Cutlass convertible. No,
Oh.
the gold one.
There was a
coming.
yellow one that drove through before you were occupied.
So
I missed it.
I missed the opportunity to do the car review. Not that everybody's hanging on the edge of their seat to hear about the 2021 Toyota Sienna.
But you were engaged in a conversation.
I know that, and that's why I just kind of padded the time.
And it's the bottom of the hour.
It is the bottom of the hour, so we need to take a break. Ross Putnam, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Donnie, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and be sure and hang around. No, we're here till 11.
I'm going to. I haven't looked at all the cars. I saw a red 55 pull in here just a minute ago.
Yep,
Yeah,
straight
it's
ahead.
sitting right out there
I
in
think
front
it had a
of us.
black front end.
That looked pretty sharp.
Got some big old fatties on the back of
Yeah,
it.
it
Yeah,
does.
it did.
Okay, so
And that's not a Kardashian.
Oh.
so Ross Putnam,
Easy.
our guest. There's a fuel-injected 57.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it truly is. That's a very
That's
expensive
nice.
car. As a matter of fact,
I like the wheel
my daughter
combination.
took a picture of a 57 convertible that was on the street where she was, got out of the car, and she took the picture and sent it to me. I said, if that is a real, honest-to-goodness convertible car that is
very rare.
and very expensive, at any rate. So Ross Putnam, our guest, and we are going to continue our show after a quick break. In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available from your favorite podcast source. In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
When you're ready to shop Chevrolet, we know one that should be at the top of your list. Bayway. Locally owned by Houston-born and raised Daryl Wisniewski, Bayway brings a sense of family to your Chevrolet buying experience. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you now have a place to go. General Manager Lincoln Stahl guarantees Bayway will beat any competitor's written price on the new vehicle you choose or pay you $1,000. Bayway Chevrolet is located only 8 minutes from the Beltway and Highway 288. Whether it's online or in person, you'll be welcomed like one of the family. BaywayChevrolet.com. Tailpipes Tacos. Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in returns Saturday, August 21st at 2 Lupe Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard just south of I-10 in Katy, and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in. Tailpipes and Tacos at Lupe's inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In Real Time Car Show. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in at Lupe's in Katy and Kirby. August 21st, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield.